Well, hello, everybody. I thought I would follow up. I haven't done a podcast on my health in a minute, and the struggle continues. The fight is real. I am in month 21 now of my recovery with long COVID, and I thought I would tell you a little bit about what's been happening. So I'll just give you the brief rundown. I'm not going to, go into a lot of detail right now, but I had heart issues, cardiac issues that went away finally. I struggled with GI issues for over a year. They did the, colonoscopy and endoscopy, and nothing looked wrong. And then it literally took a year for me to be able to eat any fruits and vegetables without just exacerbating my condition, which was not something that I wanted to do. So it was a real challenge getting anything in my body. Like I felt terrible. I had no energy. And part of that was the diet, and part of it was the extreme fatigue. If you know me at all, I have been an athletic person my whole life. I grew up as a dancer. I was a personal trainer at one point. I've always been a singer on stage and running around. As a matter of fact, my nickname is Severe because my workouts used to be legendary. And so I went from that level of activity to basically for a year and a half, all I could do was go to work and come home and go to sleep. If I had a day off or if I had any time off at all, I was basically sleeping. I could sleep 12 hours, get up and do something. And by something, maybe I mean clean the house, or maybe I just mean go for a 15 or 20-minute walk. And I would come home and it would be like, not tired like I need a cup of coffee tired, but this would be just exhausted, like I have to sit down right now, and I would lay down and I would sleep for another 4 hours. So the fatigue was was unbelievable, especially for someone like me who has been so physically active, and I could not do it. So all I was doing really was going into work and sleeping for 18 months of my life, which was not easy mentally. And nobody has any real answers because it's so different for everyone. But I'm doing these podcasts and talking about it because I felt really alone and isolated in this struggle sometimes. It's just not a lot of people, think, oh, you're just tired, or you have a cold. It wasn't like that for me. It was a complete reversal and change of everything in my life. And for the longest time, until I found a doctor that could help me with some protocol, which again, I'm not going to go into what I'm taking because everyone is so different. And I am not a doctor. I'm just explaining to you my experience with this. So in case this sounds familiar to anyone, there is help out there. And I want you to know that I am now really starting to feel better. Probably month 19, I started to notice I had more energy. And I am continuing to notice that I have more energy the more I am consistent with my workouts. But I also found out in here, in this mess of a couple of years of my life medically, trying to figure out all of this stuff, that my thyroid had also changed, and I had hormonal things going on as well. And the last thing that they found, which was never the case, was that my A1C is high. So I am going to say this now, and please, I'm a girl going through this and trying to get healthy and trying to, help anybody else. If you're out there and you're dealing with this, you're not alone. I am taking Mounjaro. My doctor prescribed that for me, and I thought I would wait a couple of months, really till I had, a better idea of really what it was doing for me and how it was affecting me before I do a podcast on that. But I will, within the next few weeks, do a podcast on my experience being on this this medication. It is not a free pass, I can tell you that. Um, it's you still have to work very much on diet and exercise, which I am doing, and I'm grateful to have the help with this medication. But what I am doing is I've decided to be consistent with movement and breathing exercises every single day. So I get up in the morning and I make sure that I start sort of with my neck, if you are familiar with my Alexander work, with the AO joint, and I make sure that my spine and my head and neck have a better relationship after after sleeping all night. Sometimes I get up and I'm pretty stiff, and so I make sure to stretch all of that. And then I work with my torso because again, sleeping all night, you can not be deep breathing and you're not doing a lot of moving. So then I go to torso exercises and then my arm and shoulder to make sure that there's no excessive tension there and that I have freedom of movement there. I do roll down and roll up, so I'm articulating each joint of my spine all the way down and up. Um, then I do some more deep breathing exercises because I, again, want to help myself sort of wake up. And then I work on my feet because you're on your feet. And if you're not balanced and your feet are not firmly the foundation and they're really not touching the ground in all of the points that they can be, you're not being as supported as maybe you could be. So I do that. And then I work on a few psoas stretches and some lower sacral stretches. I get really tight in my low back. So I do some of those. And then I stretch some calves and I do some more breathing exercises. It's also good for singing. It warms me up. And then if I want to go into some singing exercises, I can. But I do that every morning. And I usually spend about 30 minutes doing that, and I feel better. It sets me up for the day. I'm really looking through my body. I've gotten some movement out of my body, and if I have time and I feel like it, I might turn on a song and dance for 3 minutes because it's just fun. And, we move less and less and less. So, have some fun. Turn on a song that you love and do a little bit of dancing. The other things that I have really started to do to help change, especially the energy. So here I go now getting out of the fatigue of long COVID, and I find out that having a high A1C is also draining on your energy. So a couple of the other things that I really have been working on is now that I try to really make sure that I'm eating a balanced diet. Fruits, vegetables. I do eat meat, so I try and keep it lean. I try to eat, again, small, more frequent meals, but really portion control. That's the one thing I'm very, very focused on is just trying to eat so that I'm not stuffing myself, to manage that. And that seems to help. Something that I know a lot of people that have high 1A1C or even type 2, they talk about regular meal timing. I am not doing so well at that. So if anybody's got any good tips for me on that, I would love it. Being active and being consistent. And this is something that I've had to work on because, like I said, I came from being an athlete. So sometimes if I go for a 20-minute walk and I'm tired, my mean girl in my head will say, loser. And that's not really true. I mean, this is the energy that I have now at 58 years old with all of these things. Coming out of these things, I have to be gentle with myself and say, this may be all I have today, but at least I have done something. And maybe tomorrow, if I don't over push and exhaust myself today, maybe tomorrow I will have more energy and maybe I can do 30 minutes. And that's generally the way it goes. And I have been listening to my body so that if I am really exhausted, I do not push. I do move every day, like I said, and I try and do walking at least 20 or 30 minutes every day. And if I can do more, I do. And then I get to the gym. I'm trying to get some consistency there as well. Managing stress is a big one too. So I also find that this movement routine that I'm doing in the morning, it really helps set up my mindset for the rest of the day, right? So I go into my day in a better space, feeling more grounded. Like I said, working with my feet really tends to ground me and make me feel stable when I stand up in a different way than before I did, you know? Just having the fluidity and the movement in my body, I have a better sense of balance all through my body and through my mind. And so I go into my day in a better way, and I'm more aware through the day of keeping this balance. And if I feel myself getting out of balance, I might do some breath work. I might just, do 2 or 3 minutes of breath work during the day, 1 or 2 times when I feel it, and it tends to bring me back to center. But I really find that there's a big difference if I don't move in the morning and if I do. Um, Getting adequate sleep. I've always been a really good sleeper anyway, pretty good. I mean, the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years through perimenopause was wacky, but now it's getting better because now I'm on the other side of it. Um, but adequate sleep is great, and that is again very dependent on what you need. My body tends to like sleep, so um, I do try and really guard my sleeping time. And I will take short naps. I don't take long naps, but I'll take a 20 or 30 minute just lie down sometimes if I'm in the middle of the day, if I can, and I feel like I just, need a little recovery. I will do that. I don't sleep long, and sometimes I don't sleep, but I just lay down and I rest for 20 minutes, and it seems to really help. That's been a really cool thing that I've added into my recovery, and I do find that it's helpful. Um, Staying hydrated is always been tough for me because I like to drink a lot of coffee. I kind of always have. So I'm really working on drinking more water throughout the day. And I do like the liquid IV. I get the sugar-free, clearly. And but I try and drink just regular water anyway. I've never been a soda person, so I don't drink soda. I don't drink, and all my Michigan friends, sorry, I know, pop. I don't drink pop. Um, and I don't drink like fruit juices. I don't drink carbonated drinks. So I just really drink water anyway. And as a singer, I grew up, learning to drink room temperature water because that's better for your throat. So I just really try and do that. I do also really adhere to the medications that the doctors have prescribed for me. Like I am really sticking to it strictly. And I do take a lot of supplements and other things that my doctors are telling me to take. And I have never been a pill taker. I hate taking pills or medication of any kind. And so and a lot of times I have to, bring them with me. So I have a little carrying case. Now I'm one of those people that has a little carrying case with all the pills. Oh my God. Um, but I do, and I will break it up during the day so I'm not having to feel like I'm taking 8 billion pills at once. But I'm very, very specific on making sure that I am taking those things every day. And I do believe after, like I said, I'm in month 21 right now of this battle. And so um, I do think it's helping. I do think it's helping a lot. Um, so, like I said, really following what the doctors have prescribed for me to do, like strictly, making sure that I do those things every single day. And then having a good, strong support network of friends and family and, your healthcare professionals, your doctors, and the people that you're going to. Like, find good medical people who really understand because more and more people are understanding that this is a real thing and it's really difficult. It's difficult physically, but it's also difficult mentally. I'm really thankful and grateful that I feel like I am stronger now and I'm getting stronger every day. Um, there was a while where it was really hard because I just didn't know if I was ever going to feel good again. And so I think just doing little things every day that you can and um, being compassionate with yourself, giving yourself some grace, and some self-kindness and some love on the days when you maybe don't have quite as much energy or strength. But I think just getting up every day and continuing to try little baby steps, I think that's the key to everything. So I wanted to give you the health update. And again, this is month 21. So there is light at the end of the COVID tunnel. I think I've talked to a lot of people that have this, and I think it's a similar sort of thing that I'm hearing is that eventually it does start to abate a little bit, and that's a good thing. And we just have to keep supporting each other and being there and showing up and doing the work and being consistent and just keep moving, keep breathing. I think the deep breathing is a really great thing, and I know if you do some of it, you can Google deep breathing exercises or contact me and I can give you tons of sheets of breathing exercises from all my singing classes. But I hope if anyone out there is listening to this and it's helpful just to hear somebody else's experience with it, to know that you're not alone and it is a real thing. And I applaud you for all the work that you are doing and continue to do and stick with it because you're worth it and you will feel good again and you will see the end of this tunnel. You will see a light at the end of this tunnel. So, thanks for listening. Please subscribe to my channel. And I have lots of other things here. If you are interested or you know anyone who's a singer, there's lots of great singing tips and advice since I am a vocalist and a vocal coach. Let me know if you have questions, and I would be happy to talk with you about any subject. Ask me anything. So great to talk with you, and I will talk to you again very soon.